Shit. Shit. God damn this shitting shit.
Are you okay, Sai?
Am I okay?
Oh no.
You got us into this. You fuck.
Okay. Let's see how many times she swears in one sentence.
Still don't know what this thing I risk my life for
Guys.
is supposed to be.
Stop it.
Good luck getting Theo to talk.
See what the fuck the Tom said? I don't want to lose my cool. What did I just waste $30 on? The game starts off with the main characters frantically driving away from a heist they just committed. My introductory experience of the game did not go very well, as you can see. I was immediately annoyed by multiple of the characters, and it was readily apparent that the character we were forced to play as is the most insufferable asshole I've ever seen in gaming. The entire prologue, Theo gets treated like garbage when he is easily the most sensible of all of them.
Feeling grateful.
That's nice.
Shut up,
Shut up, Theo.
Okay. What's the reason? Because he isn't like the others. Everyone else in the car is anormal, which means they can influence people with their voices. Sounds a little familiar, right? Anyway, isn't it a little bit hypocritical that the entire game is about how badly people are treated for being different, yet the people who are most affected are also doing the exact same thing? Like, I just can't believe the writing in the first part of this game. Holy shit, I almost missed this one. Bang! Yeah, the other three know each other, but Theo is supposed to be kind of the boss of the group. Theo had worked for the people they just stole from, so he gave up his entire livelihood in order to strive for a better future for the Anomals, in collaboration with a more accepting country called Nova Scotia. Despite being the inside man for the crew, and being the sole reason the heist ever happened, they still don't trust him, all because he isn't one of them. It just reeks of hypocrisy. Oh, why are you guys leaving to Nova Scotia? Because people here hate us for being different. Oh, well, why do you not like Theo despite all that he's already done for you? Oh, because he's different. What?
That doesn't even make any sense!
I'm also going to explain why it's kind of reasonable to not want to be around anomals in a few minutes. Oh my...
Yes, he's...
Bro, just pull over, we got it.
Stop the car. You can put that gun down. You're not going to.
Are you? I said, exit the vehicle.
Hey,
Not
the
another
road.
word. No warning you again. Get
Sir,
out.
please don't walk into... Road. That was... fucked up. If I hadn't... If we just... Oh, fuck.
I wonder if he had
How
time.
many times has this girl sweared already?
Oh, fuck! All of this for that fucking thing! It better be worth it, Pax. You know what? I'm letting this thing drive itself from now on. In fact, I'm never driving again. I'm done. Done!
Auto drive engaged.
Can this bitch chill out? That was horrible. I think you might be getting the picture about how this writing's gonna go.
Did you finish your discussion?
Not yet, Theo! Jeez, man, hold your fucking horses.
What about you, Pax?
What?
Gigs pay the rent, barely. And our little scamps put dinner on the table 5 nights out of 7.
Oh, so these are just great people. In the next part of the story, they're gonna go meet with the first librarian. In Dustborn, a librarian is a keeper of the Weave, which is basically a resource network for people like Theo who are trying to pass information or seek refuge in Nova Scotia. The first librarian's name is Luna. When they get there, Luna needs help because she's stuck under a bus, so I have Pax ask Sai to use her super strength to, you know, save her.
Sai,
What?
hold the bus up.
But...
Sai, I need you to do this for me. Okay?
fuck.
What?
Okay, I'll do it.
What a whiny bitch, dude. To my utter disbelief, Sai has an issue with this because she just doesn't want to use her powers or something. Anyways, they help her out and it's explained to everyone that Luna's fixing up a bus for the crew to make their way across the border to Nova Scotia. Pax starts throwing up in the bathroom for pretty much unexplained reasons, and then she has a vision of a golden tree. Bird tree? Now I want all of you watching this video still, thank you by the way, to think about this. You've just committed an extraordinary crime of which death might be the punishment. You meet a complete stranger who's trying to help you escape so you can successfully live your life in freedom. Any normal person would be extraordinarily grateful for such a thing, right? I mean, they're even healing your wound right in front of you. Well, this is where my disdain for Pax is seated. Luna is pretty uneducated on the condition of being an anormal, which is pretty much expected considering all of the governments in the game villainize and scrub a lot of data on them, except for Nova Scotia. So, Luna's trying to learn a little about it. She's making a good faith effort so that she can, you know, live more in harmony with the anormals. Now, this is supposed to be a choice-driven game, yeah? So why would the only few options be to either get all pissy at her for not knowing anything about anomals, or manipulate her into thinking anomals are more powerful than they are? One of the options literally says to let her believe in something so we can have power over her. I get that Pax is a criminal scammer, but does she have to be so damned unlikable? Like, why would the developers have the player control such an insufferable asshole? Moving on, we get an alarm going off due to a justice patrol reaching the outpost. When you hear that, what do you think? Because what I think is, oh shit, we're here, we need to all be ready to either fight or dip the fuck out of here. That's a pretty valid reaction, right? Well, Sai has been in the bathroom for a while, so we go to tell her, yo, do you hear the fucking sirens? We need to get out. Do you think she comes out? Nope. She curls up into a little ball like a child and says, wah, you're better off without me, kinds of things.
What? What do you want from me?
Trigger. What does trigger mean? We have to go, so I just use Pax to push her so she snaps out of it. By giving her a little push, the girl whose power is to turn into stone gets pissed about us assaulting her.
Dick, Pax, do you think this is the way to change my mind?
I'm sorry for being rough on you, but
Push me.
felt like you needed it.
Needed? That's fucked up, Pax. I mean, yeah, I was spiraling. I probably needed to get out of my head, but you didn't need to assault me. Whatever. Now, managed to have a panic attack,
Fuck
so
sake.
thanks. I guess.
This bitch is insufferable. So again, we're supposed to be in this big rush to leave, right? But when the bus is finished, we look at Sai and Gnome, and they're playing music? Motherfucker! We're being chased by the police! It's time to get the fuck out of here!
Check this out, Gnome.
Bro, why are you playing fucking music? Bro, we're supposed to be running from the cops right now. It's discovered that a robot will be driving the bus. So Pax has another bitch fit. For whatever reason, in this world where robots are everywhere, Pax pulls a Will Smith and just has to hate them. In iRobot, at least Will Smith has an actual reason to hate robots. In Dustborn, the only reason she hates robots is because her mom taught her not to trust them when she was young. The thing is, Pax would have been around robots a lot since she ran away from home at a young age. So you'd think that belief might have gone away after a while, right?
Yeah, I don't got a problem.
Along with that, she just hates the fact that she can't manipulate or control robots with her powers. Everything in the beginning of the game points towards our playable character being a total dick. Why the hell would I want to spend an entire game listening to my character bitch and whine about shit like this? Like, it's just a robot driving, who cares? Probably better at driving than you. Oh wait, it is, because you don't have a license. It's supposed to be a choice-based game so far, but it's gonna force me to be a fucking cunt? Sure, man.
Don't touch me.
Hey!
What was that?
Vox wash back.
Don't touch me again, Tin Can.
Gosh, can you chill the fuck out? Am I not allowed to fucking say I'm cool with the robot? Thank you. Why does every character make such a big deal over nothing? Like, Theo makes a dad joke once, and the crew acts like he just nailed a baby to the cross. Then Theo mentions the crew, and Pax starts arguing for no reason at all.
What happened to being in charge? You can't be one of us and be the one to call the shots.
Bro.
If we're
What
really
the
in this
fuck
together,
are you
means
talking
taking a
about?
different route across
Oh,
the
you
Pacific.
can't be one of the crew if you're the leader. That doesn't make any sense. Like, who cares about these semantics, man? Just get going. Theo's the only reasonable one in the game so far, and the story has us trying to hate him. Why would I hate Theo? He hasn't done anything wrong whatsoever. There is so much you can do to have a crew struggle with becoming cohesive.
We're ahead of
Like
schedule.
maybe have one of them say, Theo, we'll never accept you after what you did back there. Then it gets us thinking, you know? What could he have done to piss everyone off and have so much hatred pointed towards him? But nope. The writers opted to have this dog shit in the game. This is like a schoolyard semantics argument, but Pax is genuinely angry over it. Next, Pax wants to take a detour. We later find out that she wants to go north before getting out of the country so she can see her family one last time. However, before any of that is explained, the player is expected to yell at Theo for thinking going north is a stupid idea. So we're supposed to be pissed for Theo not letting us see our family before the player even knows that's the reason for the detour? Who wrote this? The tone starts to settle and change as the game goes on, but the beginning had me thinking that we would just have to deal with misandry the entire game towards the only male member of the team. Again, that changes, but it was my first impression due to the fact that there was absolutely no reason for the team to be treating my man Theo like that.
We'll be taking a different route north. Through Liberty, Oregon. My family lives there. My mom.
So we're gonna be selfish.
Hey, none of us have been home in ages. What makes you so special?
Yeah, exactly.
Picking up her sister makes this a bit different.
If we're detouring for Pax's family, why not drop in on my parents at the same time?
You know that's not the same, Sai. This is my last chance to say goodbye to Moms.
What? So the reason Pax gives for them making the detour is because she won't be able to see her family again, which is literally the same case for Sai and everyone else who has a family there. Nobody questions this or ever brings it up again. They just kind of agree and they're like, oh yeah, you're right, Pax, let's do it. It just makes no sense. Stop saying kid, holy fuck. Also, I've forgotten to show it up until this point, but Pax keeps saying kid, and it was annoying the hell out of me for some reason. It just felt like she was trying to do some cutesy thing, calling us out, and like making it a fourth wall break, but it ends up getting explained. Regardless, it still annoyed the hell out of me for most of the game. Anyways, our cover story to get us across the border is that we're a traveling band. So, in this chapter, we get our first little Guitar Hero segment. Bro, what?
We're the dustborn, this bug is airborne. We're the new porn, our kind is new porn.
I had to put my controller down for that. We're the new porn. The only way I can describe this game so far is it feels like an English teacher would enjoy it. Anyways, after Pax spits out some heat to rival Nickelback, we get our first glimpse into the past where Pax was doing some experiments to try and figure out how her powers work. The scientist starts talking about a proto-language, which is just the most confusing and nonsensical plot point of the entire game. First of all, he says that the use of Vox bypasses the ears and affects the brain. But in the last chapter, the big boss has like a selective hearing augment to make her resist these powers, so did the writers just forget they did this? Alright. Oh my gosh, is this the thing that teaches me how to cancel? Ain't no way we got the Erd tree in here. Hey Godric, where you at, bro? Oh my gosh, do I actually get to play the game? Wait, there's gameplay? What the fuck? Soon we get our first combat encounter, which absolutely surprised me. When I bought the game, I was under the impression it would just be a talking simulator akin to the old Telltale games. Boy, was I wrong. I thought the combat was extremely stiff, but also very easy. At some point I thought I would be able to finish the entire game without dying, so I switched to a harder difficulty. Oh boy, here we go. Guys, you're gonna want to see this.
Welcome to Mordor, fellow hobbits.
Oh my fucking god. Once we cross the border, we're forced by the guards to demonstrate that we are an actual band. This is the first time that Guitar Hero segment is actually like put into motion. Before it was just kind of a practice. I don't want to harp too much on the systems since it's not really that important, but I just wanted to say that this is a massive downgrade from what we've seen in the industry so far. The thing with Guitar Hero and Fortnite Festival is they continued the same visualization because it worked well. So why would a developer see something that works and convert it to something worse, like this? Instead of just seeing what's coming in one direction and being able to easily predict which note is coming first, you have to glance in 4 different directions across the screen, making it very difficult to tell which one to play first. Sure, there's a little color that shows the closest note, but what about the next? Why not just keep the system that works by simply using your depth perception to see what's closer? Also, The inputs are all buttons. None of them are triggers or something that would make it easier to input those close together notes. Am I supposed to use 2 thumbs on my button inputs? Should I invent a new controller holding style just to play this game? After the first Guitar Hero session, we go to camp. The camps in this game also piss me off because they're all just talking sections that, in my opinion, bloat the game very much. I think every issue has one of these sections. And if you're thorough like I was, they can take over half an hour on their own. That's 30 minutes of just running around and chatting to uninteresting people. I really tried to get the most of the game so I could properly review it, but I have to admit that towards the end, I just could not go through every dialogue anymore. It was so unbelievably uninteresting to me, but I don't think anything I could have heard in those dialogues I missed would have made this review any more positive.
Oh, that smells so good. I don't know about
You fat fuck. All you think about is food.
Restaurant in San Francisco.
Who was this game made for? Even in the beginning of the game, I had to try to assign more interesting outcomes, even if they weren't actually there. Alright, fuck her. Or fuck them. Oh man, this is harder than I thought it would be. After that yap fest, we go to sleep and are awoken to some bikers trying to rob us. We get our second combat encounter, which actually teaches us the mechanics.
You're gonna attack an unarmed woman?
What? No. Never. Here, take this.
Bruh.
Oh, you'll see. By hitting that guy before, we've built up a special attack I call a shout. Remember that whole words are our weapons thing?
Oh
Time to see it in
no.
action, kid. Let's shout. Go away.
That is so fucking lame. Holy shit. Go away, just kill someone. That's fucking hilarious. All I gotta do is say go away and I'll make him fly against the wall. Oh yeah, here we go. We got that Souls-like combat.
Be gone.
That's so fucking stupid, bro.
Time to talk about taunts. This is a way to focus our attack on a single enemy. Take that.
Yikes, bro.
We can do as a team. Bitch attack.
Bitch attack. There's no fucking way. Bitch attack. That is fucking crazy.
Girl power.
Does anything need to be said at this point, bro? You know how I said the combat felt stiff? The dialogue really doesn't help. I mean, during the fight, Pax literally says bitch attack before using one of her special moves. Holy shit. Then we're given an option to have either more or less fights throughout the game. I completely forgot this was even an option because there were barely any fights even after I selected the more option. There's like barely any combat already, so like...
Hey, are we sure these bozos are okay? I mean, they tried to kill us, but...
Who gives a fuck?
Okay. I'm not ready to add murdering people to my guilty conscience just yet. And I don't know, did you have to punch her lights out? I mean, she was mean.
I fucking hate Psy. Okay, so I didn't mention this about the first issue, but this game makes its political intentions very clear. It even makes fun of people who don't want politics shoveled down their throat when they're playing video games.
That wasn't terrible, I guess. Well, whatever. You may want to pick a different song next time. Folks in the Republic don't much like politics with their entertainment.
Look, I get it. Many games are political, and there's absolutely no problem with that. I mean, I'm probably gonna make 100 comparisons to Skyrim this video, for obvious reasons, so I might as well make a comparison here. When I think of Skyrim, I don't think, oh, it's just a game made to lecture me about why certain views are good and why others are bad. Nah, my first thought is about the fun gameplay, exploration, and role-playing element. However, politics plays a crucial role in the story. There are numerous dilemmas that explore serious real-world topics like racism or xenophobia, as well as what role a government should play in the lives of its people. For example, when you're deciding who to side with in the war plaguing Skyrim, there are plenty of considerations to be made, whether those are based on your own values or the ones of a character you're role-playing as. What if I'm playing as a good-doing orc who just wants to plant a warhammer into a skull? Should I join the Stormcloak Rebellion? I'd like to be free of the Imperials and let the natives reside on their own land, and the Imperials wanted to kill me at the beginning of the game, so yeah, fuck those guys. I'm joining the Stormcloaks. Or you might see it another way. Yeah, the Imperials tried to murder me at the beginning of the game, but they're just following orders, right? I don't want to join the Stormcloaks because I'm an elf. Windhelm is home to many extremely racist Nords. Why would I want to side with a bunch of assholes who call me knife ears? Ulfric's probably a plant by the Aldmeri Dominion anyways. I'm siding with the Imperial. You can go through this whole argument with yourself and make your own decisions based on the world around you. Not once does the game just state its developer's own beliefs and tell you which way is evil or just. That's what makes it an interesting narrative, because you have to live with your own choices for better or for worse, weighing the pros and cons of each decision. That's not the way Dustborn decided to go. If your beliefs have any sort of nuance to them or are slightly different from the writers, you're just seen as a piece of shit. At the start of issue 2, Theo's just trying to have a conversation and talk about how the chants they're hearing sound straight out of a Western movie. Here's the response.
This place looks like something from a Western movie.
What do you mean by a Western movie?
As in not Asian or African or South American.
Western movie. As in a Western. You know, with cowboys, Indians.
Hey! I'm the Indian here. You mean indigenous peoples.
I think American Indians is acceptable.
Sure. If you want to propagate a myth created by genocidal imperialists.
Fair.
All I meant was that fort looks like something from She Wore a Yellow Ribbon.
She wore what?
Who's wearing a yellow ribbon?
What's a fort?
Never mind.
Look, I get that most indigenous people don't want to be called Indians. I agree with Sai here, and I do my best to say whatever the most up-to-date thing is, whether that is Native Americans or indigenous people. I've even met people who say they prefer to be called Indians because they think it's funny how stupid it makes a person sound for propagating the myth. I have no qualms calling you whatever you want to be called, but you have to be some kind of chronically online jackass to think that this isn't a perfect display of intellectual dishonesty. They knew what Theo was talking about, and they just pretended not to in order to be outraged about what he was saying. He obviously didn't mean anything when he said, you know, like cowboys and Indians. That's literally the name of the genre. If I look up cowboys and Indians movies on Google, they even use the term. Google! And am I seriously expected to believe Gnome doesn't know what a fucking fort is? It's like Theo's dealing with a bunch of insufferable babies.
What?
What? I didn't say anything.
Just wondering what you're thinking.
To be honest, I'm just enjoying the fresh air and the singing.
Weirdo.
I fucking hate these two. Holy shit. Theo's the only normal one. Fucking weirdo.
I don't know what's going on here, but this is a peaceful community. They don't have guns.
But if I end up with an arrow in my throat and bleeding out on the ground, I'll fuck.
I would. Holy shit, I'd be so happy.
Cabins haven't changed. They just look weathered.
I wonder why everything looks old. Why does everything look different? Since I've been here, it's only been 16 years.
Are you there?
What the hell are you doing here?
Whoa, hey, easy.
Pax? You're Annie and Rosa's Pax? For real?
In the flesh.
Fred, you don't remember me? You used to push me around when we were kids.
Now, please, let us in. You know me. You can trust me.
Trust you? You were a fucking bully.
Of course she was! Next we find out Pax was a reprehensibly bad bully. Bad enough that one of the girls in Liberty, the camp where Pax grew up, remembers her as such from 16 years ago. Pax skips right past that though and opts to come at her for carrying a gun to protect their settlement.
I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just trying to keep my people safe.
With a gun? You're putting more lives at risk. What are you even doing with that thing?
Her having a gun pointed at her is obviously stressful, but it's certainly not Pax's place to get mad at her for carrying a gun when Pax literally broke into the place. Even as they're accepted as guests of the settlement, they constantly yammer on about the presence of guns. Why are there so many guns around? It makes me so upset!
You greet all visitors with a loaded gun these days?
Times have changed. People are scared.
Well, then we find out that Liberty is host to a drug operation.
And Rosa, she needed something.
Those poppies?
What are you saying?
Those are opium poppies.
Oh.
Hey, yo. Yep. This camp is growing fucking opium poppies to make a quick buck. So yeah, I wonder why they would have guns. Listen, I understand that the game is not an RPG like Skyrim and that Pax is a character on her own. But when you look at other games like Telltale's The Walking Dead, the same thing can be argued. In that game, yeah, Lee has a backstory and is his own character in many ways, but we get to shape him as the story goes on by making his decisions. Is he a good guy trying to help people get by, or is he a selfish survivalist who looks out only for his own? You as the player get to make that distinction. In Dustborn, it feels like they chose the wrong medium for the story to take place. You can never disagree with how Pax thinks, you can only choose to what degree you agree with her. Or at least, it feels that way for many of the dialogue choices. What if I don't think guns are the devil and can be used in more nuanced situations to keep people safe? Well, if you think that, you're wrong in the eyes of Dustborn. What if I think everyone should have a gun on them at all times because they're the best thing since sliced bread? Dustborn thinks you're just a reprehensible human being. Your only choice is to agree. Ah yes, all guns in all cases are bad. Let us melt them into scrap metal and go back to the days of bows and arrows. Again, it's fine if the playable character is a sort of baseline, but if you have no choice on what decisions are made, why create a game with dialogue options? Why not just make it a linear story? You can have really good linear stories, like fucking all the games of the early 2000s. Anyways, back to the story. For sure.
Go away! Ow! That hurt. You're mean.
Facts.
I'm telling moms. Don't you dare. If you do, I'll put you in that hole and nail it shut. No!
Pax was just a fucking cunt all her life.
No, that's a bad one. What are they doing?
What are you doing?
Fuck do you say?
We don't want you or your friends hanging around.
You don't belong here.
Eat my fucking hairy muffin, bitch. Why the fuck are we growing opium?
Over and kill us all. You saw what the big one did to our gate?
The big one?
Could you give us some space?
Pax, don't be rude. So are you and this lovely person?
Person? I mean, yeah, what would you say? Wait, what would you say? They're they. Can't say this guy or this girl, right? I'm just gonna push this because what would you say?
Mom.
Okay.
What's that sound?
Is there a ghost?
Whispers. Oh no, the ghosts are back.
Wait, really? What the fuck? Pax finds Ziggy and turns out she's really pissed at her.
Hey, sis. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yo, is this the girl from Into the Spider-Verse?
The runaway comes running back.
Pax is surprised because she thought her sister would be a little bit more happy to see her. I would have expected that they did not get along, but more just because Pax isn't exactly a ray of sunshine instead of the actual reason that came to be. Turns out their mothers never told Ziggy why Pax had to leave, so she grew up thinking her sister abandoned her for no reason. Kind of a dick move by the mothers, but that's just my opinion. Pax had to leave because she accidentally used her powers, bringing a lot of unwanted attention to the camp. Kind of like what she's doing right now in the present. As a result, Ziggy thinks the only reason Pax came back was to get her special meme device, which can record echoes. This allows her to craft her own words. Still doesn't make much sense to me. With how Pax has been acting so far in the story, it's a little hard to sympathize with her. She was a manipulative bully her whole life, and now we're expected to feel bad that her sister dislikes her? I'm not seeing it, dude. So what the f—
The game was played, and she didn't win it. She never won. She wasn't good at winning. She was good at making, but she played the game. She played the game. It's unfair. It's not made to be.
So is she like
It's rigged. All the games
multiple schizo or some shit?
making food. The code is like food.
Bro, what the fuck is this bitch on?
The meme. I looked for it earlier in your room. Is that
seriously? Is that the real reason you came back? For this thing? Are you planning to sell this? Make a quick buck?
Yeah.
I left this behind on purpose, kid.
Eventually we get the meme. Bullied bitch and some random other girl try to jump Pax pretty much. And so Pax is forced to use her powers in a way.
Dumb as a bucket of coal.
Fuck it, let's just get into a fight. I'm bored.
What did you say? Deviant? Planning to use your freak powers on me?
Yeah.
It'll only
stay away from me.
See? I told you they're dangerous. They all are.
She said 4 words. If this pisses people off for some reason, like Pax is about to get jumped. What the fuck else should she have done? Let them jump her ass?
Stand down, Fred. Moon.
What the fuck?
Fred, just back off.
Yeah. You just had a gun.
Was the gun really necessary?
Can you shut the fuck up about guns, bro? I'm tired of this bitching.
This whole opium thing?
Fuck it. Let's make a Chinese opium den. How does this child's toy, have the power to get rid of this shit? I recorded a whole explanation for this story beat, but I'm just gonna let Pax explain it in a couple seconds, because I forgot she does that.
World order. A one world.
What the flying fuck?
WTF.
There is no fucking way this bitch just said WTF out loud.
Oh my god.
Yeah, tell me what the fuck this thing is.
So there's this device. This one has been modded. And when I plug in a special cartridge, it helps me see and record echoes. You've heard about whispers of the noise?
The noise?
The broadcast.
We called it the disorder, but yeah, the whispers.
They're like echoes of disinformation left behind after the disorder. And I can see these echoes, but I need this thing to do it. The meme.
I am so confused.
It's never explained how we came across a modded kid's toy that's worth millions, maybe even more than that, of dollars. We just kind of came across it during our childhood, I guess, just out of chance. I get that you have to have unexplained things in your story, but just saying it's modded and leaving it at that and expecting your audience to be like, oh, okay, I understand, it's a little shitty, because this is one of the most crucial parts of the game. It's how Pax uses her most important power to create new themes. Yo, what up, bitch? It turns out there are echoes drifting around that only our meme can detect for some reason. It can infect people and cause them to go insane. The echoes are fragments of disinformation from an event called the Disorder, which is what caused anomals to come into existence. I genuinely don't understand how that works, even after playing the entire game. I get it's sort of contrivance in superhero media to be like, oh, he fell into a vat of radioactive liquid and turned into Facefuck Man. But that origin story, it makes a little more sense than this. So you're telling me a bunch of kids were listening to a broadcast which spouted out a bunch of bullshit, essentially. And now they have superpowers that are genetically inheritable? How the fuck does that make any sense? How does hearing lies give you the ability to make people fight each other in the future? Or give you super strength? Disinformation's a real phenomenon that gets more dangerous the more technology is developed. Yet the writers chose to use that as a vehicle for how the protagonists got their powers? Disinformation can be used in so many unique ways in storytelling, and this is what they went with? Absolutely mind-boggling. Another important thing we discover in this issue is that anomals can go nova. What basically happens here is that intense emotions can cause them to scream and hurt everyone around them, like it's fucking Iron Man 3. You won't like me when I'm angry, ass game. I don't blame people for not wanting to be around them, considering they're literal criminal scam artists who do things only for the gain of themselves or their people. While the bullied girl brings a mob to the leader in order to try and exile the crew, Pax sees that they're all infected with echoes, with the bullied girl being infected by a powerful one. Pax then removes the echoes from their minds and shames the people. How is it unjust to dislike the idea of welcoming a bunch of fugitives into your community? I mean, yeah, Liberty is a literal drug operation, but why would they want more attention from the law brought by a bunch of heisters? Not long after they arrived, Justice comes to the community, seeking the illegal poppy operation and pretty much damning the residents of Liberty to prison. So while the writers try to have the people of Liberty be seen as these xenophobic cacks, the arrival of Justice proves that their worries were warranted, because the crew literally ushered in the end of a community that was doing just fine before their arrival. Because Justice came, it forces Ziggy to give Pax her like special baseball bat technology, which basically turns her bat into a shitty version of the Leviathan axe.
We robot mascot.
Sure, that, but how and why?
It's a hard, difficult fight right now. This is also where we're introduced to the weapon upgrade system. Pretty much all we do is go around looking for scrap in every single level, and we can use that to upgrade the bat. I really just didn't even pay attention to the upgrades. I couldn't really notice them because of how infrequent the combat sequences were. The crew pushes back Justice in the first combat sequence that has happened in like an hour or so. But that doesn't really matter since the government already knows about the operation. Liberty's screwed because of the crew, so they decide to just run away and take Ziggy with them. So what happened in this issue boils down to this. Pax selfishly wanted to visit her home before leaving the country for good, despite her very recent crimes against the government. This brings unwanted attention to the settlement and pretty much guarantees them to disbandment. Then they just leave. So she went home to see her family, put them in perilous danger, then she just left. Fuck it, I don't care if they rot in prison for the rest of their lives. At least I got to see them one more time. Who acts this way? Seriously, this just furthers the sentiment that Pax is a fuck-ass piece of shit character. Okay, so I thought this video was going to be about me pointing out all of the little details that I had problems with in this game. But on my current edit, it's already 40 minutes, so I'm going to have to start skipping a lot of shit. I mean, this is the second issue out of 10. Oh my fuck. During our first little camping segment, I get black screened and have to restart the game, even though the last save was 16 minutes ago. You're fucking kidding me. I'm going to be skipping a majority of these campfire segments, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Next, we head to Pete's Pool Hall, where we have our first gig. I'll spare your ears by not playing too much of the music. Brother, this girl stinks! We have 2 songs! Yeah!
Thank you. We'll be here all night.
So after we get the meme and grab our long-lost sister Ziggy, we set off on the road again. Fuck the family we just completely screwed over, we're out. We have to stop at a gas station and fuel up the bus. When we do, the robot drives off with the bus. Gnome's still sleeping inside. In order to catch up with it and save Gnome, we have to either provoke the bikers and steal their bikes or fix up and steal a truck from the gas station. Yo, you left me behind, guys. We end up tracking the bus down to this weird abandoned movie set looking place. A guy's there thinking we're attempting to encroach on his land or some shit.
Goddamn bikers murdered my vegetables!
Hey, yo.
Easy, easy, dude.
It turns out he's infected with an echo, so Pax, you know, does her thing. This guy is not of much significance to the plot. We end up finding the bus and discovering an underground facility in our search for the robot. There, we find Eli, who is one of the cooler characters. In my playthrough, he was always an optimist looking for the best out of every situation, which was pretty refreshing, considering the starting crew. He was a part of the biker gang, but left in search of his old friend, who we only know as O. The reason he sought this facility was because he lived there when it was running.
We're on the same side.
Was that smile? From Eli, we find out that the Republic has been kidnapping and performing tests on anormal children in secrecy. This is the last place Eli saw his friend O, and so it was the last place he could think to look. He also wanted to find an old toy thing that belonged to her. He actually has some pretty cool powers. I literally wrote in my notes, Eli has a sword that looks like the war. Why couldn't Pax have a cool power like that? Instead, she just yells at people and tries to get them sad, LMAO. Once we find the toy Eli was looking for, we find Robot. Robot found some chamber which reawakened her previous memories, and it turns out she used to be a caretaker for Eli within the facility. So we start referring to her as such. Upon leaving the facility, we're confronted by the biker gang.
Don't leave anyone behind. Let our people go.
Fucking Moses. Turns out Eli's ex is the lady in charge of them. We proceed to beat the living shit out of her, then for whatever reason the pair decides to make up and we're cool with the bikers. Sure, dude, whatever. The issue ends with us around the campfire getting to know Eli. And then, yeah, blah blah blah, whatever. Fuck the campfire. Eli's cool. So, I upped the difficulty. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit more interesting to play this game. Oh my gosh, the first coda moment, and we're 7 fucking hours into the game. This issue highlights one of the main problems with Dustborn, which is pacing. There's like one combat sequence every hour or so to keep you engaged, but aside from that, you get a lot of sequences where you just walk around and talk to everyone about their feelings. This could be an interesting addition to a video game if, and only if, the characters are interesting enough. Unfortunately, this game's characters have not held my attention very well. I've been engaging with and fully exploring every possible interaction, but the only ones which interested me at this point in the story were Theo and Eli. I want to know why Theo would all of a sudden flip on the Puritans in order to flee the country when he had been with them for years. Everyone else is pretty boring to me. Gnome is just Pax's ex who misses home. Psy is just an annoying complainer. Robot is a robot confused about their identity. Ziggy's holding a grudge against Pax because she left. None of them are really very interesting. They really just piss me off a lot of the time. Now, if your characters are boring, what might you not want to do? Well, you would probably not want to create large sections where you have to run around and ask each person about their feelings on a situation. Now, guess what this issue's all about?
Feeling better?
Better than...
At the trailer park, you were unwell.
Nothing a little sleep couldn't fix.
They'll be ordering soon.
I'm not particularly hungry.
We're losing aura with her by the second.
What do people order in diners?
All-day breakfast.
Mac and cheese.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I thought it was breakfast.
Okay, folks, drinks?
I'll have a big glass of Betty's Cola from the fountain.
Iced tea.
Oh, you two are a perfect match. Do I sense love in the air?
Jesus,
No.
Miss?
Who knows? Ah! Fuck it. Give me a beer.
I'll have a beer.
One brewski?
Wait. Not. No. Just water, please.
What? This is a choice game! Holy shit, what is wrong with my voice? This is a choice game. Let me fucking drink a beer. What the fuck happened to my voice there? It's just fucking annoying. Like, oh, here, you choose what to get. Oh, okay, I'll have a beer. And then the game says, you know what? You're fucking stupid for doing that. Let's take a piss, kid! Thank you so much, game, for the pissing cutscene. She has her pants on! Is she shitting through her pants? Full on sharding. You're not pulling shit up. I saw your pants, bro.
Want to lose this, kid.
Fuck you, whatever your name is. Like, it's probably Zai or some shit. Zoik? Zonson?
Please refrain from humming. 8 squares for wiping?
Oh, hell no!
Deviants like to kidnap kids because they're easier to brainwash with their dark language.
Yeah, okay, dude.
Feel nothing. No shame, no guilt.
Dude, nobody is gonna go and say this shit.
Special place in hell for deviants.
That's insane.
We're not even human.
Hey, you're talking about human beings.
Deviants? Human beings?
That is, why would anyone ever say that?
For now, you guys will have to pose as roadies. But if we ever need another drummer, Z...
See? That wasn't hard. You should have told us this from the start.
Okay! Key basic, not a normal. Anyways, let's fucking pretend we didn't read that. So after the addition of Eli to the crew and escaping that underground facility, we now have to make our way to the next librarian. This section's just a perfect example of how this game wants to waste your time. I'll just let some of it play. Alright, let's give it a knock.
Hello?
Alright, nobody's in there. Alright, don't worry, he's got it.
Theo?
We'll just wait. Maybe Lottie got the time wrong.
Oh, I thought he was gonna, like, hack into it. Or use a fucking RFID thing here. Whatever, Sai's got it.
Door, Pax. I don't think I can punch a hole in that.
You're useless! Oh, so it's not an RFID thing, it's a keypad. Alright, get over here, robot.
Thoughts?
It's a door.
It is a door, and it's locked. Can't you, with your hand?
Only if there's a URP. There's no URP, and I can't pick locks.
Okay. I don't know what the fucking code would be. You got something?
It doesn't have power. I can't do anything with it.
Fuck. Ziggy's probably like, I just fucking told you that. Nice, man. Alright, cool. So what the fuck do I do? Of course you did.
Humans are very predictable.
I'm about to fucking crash out. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it! Fucking wasting my time out here. I cut most of it out, but we took 10 minutes just to open a single fucking door. It gives us the option to have everyone try opening the door, only for the code to be on a discarded robot that's like 5 feet away. What is that noise? Can I turn off the fucking music? How do I turn off the fucking music? Ooh. Ooh, shit's about to get crazy in here. Why does that raccoon have... Why does that have a shirt on?
How you doing?
Hit it with the bat!
That's a living person, right?
Just open the fucking door. Why is she not opening the door? Hello? Open the door!
Give it a try anyway.
Always ready to be your personal crowbar.
You're big and strong. What the fuck do you want to be here for if you don't want to be used for that? Fuck, man. Every time I ask her for help. Oh, yeah, you just want to use... Yeah, well, I do just want to use your first strength. That's what you're fucking here for. Bro, do I really gotta sort through all of the fucking whatever, sure.
Smash this window, Si?
And sever a major artery? Hell no.
Whatever, pussy. How did you hit your hand? Are you, like, sped? Why is the music still playing?
I don't think the real Jesus was this particular shade of pasty white.
Oh my gosh. No, he wasn't white. All cultures make a version of Jesus that look like him, okay? Same thing with Mary. Dude, there's no way you're gonna make me... This game isn't a game! Fuck, I don't want to hang out. I want to fucking do shit. I want to play Black Ops 6. No, man, I don't want to hear the lore, man. Oh, fuck.
And what do we choose to do with that faith? Still trying to...
Don't call me that! My fucking gosh!
Funny thing is, the more trouble justice causes for us, the more trouble I want to cause them.
Wow.
To just...
That is some fucking Daredevil dog levels of dialogue right there. Anyways, why do we have to play as the most annoying fucking bitch character? And why is this fucking music still going?
And I've never even touched an arcade machine.
Well, today's a day for firsts, Eli. You're a virgin no longer. Hey, that was... I'm so sorry. It was not cool. It was totally uncalled for.
Why would that be a big deal to say? Oh, I'm so sorry. I called you a virgin. No, I didn't mean it. No, please. Guys, you're playing Pong right now.
I used to play this all the time.
W.
Hey, Theo.
W. Theo. Best character.
My friends and I would play this game every weekend at the taqueria next to my house.
What kind of fucking tacos you like, bro? I like shredded beef. Get fucked! Oh yeah, he can't handle that angle. Can't handle that angle! Oh shit, he did. Can't handle that angle though. I get dirty at Pong! I get dirty! There are a lot of points in this game where I feel like my time has been wasted. Not so much as the time when I played Pong. Pong is not some technological marvel nowadays. The thing is, nowadays anyone can make Pong. I can even make Pong. So why was it the center of attention for a good 10 minutes of this issue? Boring fucking chapter, man. Like, what was the meaning like for this fucking mall part? Guys, I got an idea. Let's stop the entire progression of the story so that the player can play Pong. Fucking Pong! I can code Pong, it's not hard! I'm not even joking, like, maybe I'll do it for this video just to fucking show how easy it is. Why? Why am I playing Pong? I'm just fucking wasting my time. Is this, cancel? Normalize. This game is supposed to have gameplay too, but you only fucking get to do it once every 3 hours.
Pax, can you give me a hand?
Yeah, sure! Still, I changed the difficulty 2 hours ago. I still haven't fought anything. I'll be a raccoon. I love raccoons.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Mr. President.
Anyways, after we finish talking to everyone, we'd eat dinner and then go to sleep. Pax wakes up in the middle of the night and finds Theo praying. Theo's been pretty conflicted on how to be a good leader and what he should do after he makes his way to Nova Scotia. This is another time when I like to think about what a normal, well-adjusted person would do if they found someone in this state. Would you pray with them? Offer them an ear? Maybe just leave them alone to contemplate? Well, that's not what Pax does. I have to do it. Are you serious? I thought this was supposed to be a fucking game about choice, man. This shit is so annoying. I just don't get a choice. Cool.
They will betray you.
Great. Instead, Pax sees this as an opportunity to take advantage of Theo. Pax wants to know what resides within the data key they took from Purity. She wants to know what they are all risking their lives for. It's a completely valid curiosity, but Pax doesn't know how to access the data since it's encrypted. When Pax sees Theo praying in the chapel, he goes over to him and forces him to help her with the drive.
Stop being weak.
Like, fuck this bitch, man. What a bitch, dude. It's not the right thing to do.
Stupid trash panda.
Fuck you. I was curious, but I was mostly concerned. For whatever reason, I felt like accessing the data on our own like this would cause something bad to happen. Why wouldn't you close the blinds? This point in the story really pissed me off because I would have never done that to my favorite character when given the choice. So, with Theo practically on a leash, the two open up the file containing all the data, but they don't really understand anything they're seeing. Then CT comes by to check on what they're doing, and so that's a pull the plug on their little operation. So they went through all of that risk, and Pax crossed a major boundary for no reason at all. What a great idea, Pax. You did all that for nothing. Like, fuck you, Pax. And the music is still going! I'm in the loading screen! After they try to go back to sleep, it turns out my worry was correct. Somehow accessing the data gave Purity their location, and they broke into the mall in order to attack. At least we got some action in this issue.
Coming at you.
That was terrible.
Man, you better hurry.
Pax, cover your ears.
What?
Just do it.
Big bang! The only problem with that action is it lasted like 2 minutes. You're gonna regret saying that in a minute. Dude, that's all it was. Why, man? Before this fight, I changed the difficulty to hard in hopes that the fights would be longer. Wrong assumption, I guess. Anyways, we win pretty easily after Theo uses some sort of EMP and breaks the shields of all the Puritans somehow, whatever. We escape, screwing over the librarian once again because Pax just had to see what was on the drive. There are pretty much no repercussions for what Pax does, and the crew just moves on. The only thing I have to say is that I wish we could have taken the raccoon with us. Now that we left the previous librarian for dead, we had to hightail it out of there. On the way to Colorado, Gnome suddenly senses another anomal because that's something she can do now, apparently.
You can sense things. Intense feelings, other anomals, or...
This time it's both. A lot of emotion.
If we had more information, I might say we intervene. But we've had too many close calls.
Yep. I agree with Theo. Fuck 'em.
Weak sauce, Theo. We don't leave anyone behind. Not if they're anomal. And if
Yeah, we are. There's plenty of fucking people being left behind. Everybody asks Pax what should be done. And we're once again given no choice. We're forced to go looking for this other anomal, even though that's extremely idiotic considering we're on the run from law enforcement currently.
Yeah, let's go! This choice game doesn't let me have a choice! Let's go!
The man's right.
My fucking gosh!
What is the point of a fucking choice-based game if you can't choose?
Go. Now that is the sister I remember.
Shut the fuck up, Ziggy. You're an annoying bitch. Everyone in this fucking game's annoying. Like my fucking gosh! Why can't I make a choice in this game? Whatever, maybe we can actually fight people for once. Or is it gonna be another fucking 2 hours to wait for that? Oh yeah, let me get my other shout. Let me use my Dragon Souls real quick. One sec, guys. Gotta use my Dragon Souls. And cancel. There's no way it's actually that. We've learned how to cancel someone. Cancel will allow us to isolate people from their friends and compatriots. In battle, this could be a useful tool against enemies. There's no way. I thought that this whole thing was about, oh, it's powers that we learned from fucking ancient humans. So ancient humans know how to cancel people? I gotta be missing something. The guy in that cutscene where he was doing experiments with Pax was going, oh, I'm gonna go look at these drawings with the, they're probably, I'm assuming they're gonna be the symbols from that minigame we just played. I don't think the cavemen knew how to cancel people!
Okay. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay.
Do you have to say that out loud? While we search for the anomal, we see Justice messing with an older couple for some reason, and we decide to jump in. The fight lasts like 30 seconds. Then we're back to a walking simulator.
I'm gonna whoop your butt.
Damn, that might actually be the best one. What about cancel? When we cancel someone, they hurt themselves?
Canceled.
What? That's insane. We caused them to hurt themselves. It's crazy. Gosh damn it. Why do these fights in the game last 30 seconds? Now I gotta sit through another hour of just fucking talking, man. Why even have fighting?
We end up finding the anomaly and it turns out to just be a small child. She's mute, so we try to comfort her and bring her with us. Pax touching the girl brings her immense pain, so it seems that the girl's powers are psychic or something. Once again, I thought the whole point of Vox was that it had to be heard aloud for it to do anything. I wasn't under the impression that it was like Skyrim, where using your Thum ushers things into existence like fire, ailments, but maybe that is the case. But in this case, why do these powers not work on robots? There are a few holes in the whole Vox idea that I don't really understand.
So we're really just kidnapping fuckers? Alright then. I don't have a choice in this choice-based game, so... Like, I know it's assumed she's on the run or whatever, and she doesn't actually have anyone that she's here with, but come on, man. You're not gonna ask anything, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's a girl, she's an anomal, so let's take her.
So I bring up a pretty good point here, I think. We end up calming her down and getting her onto the bus, basically kidnapping her, though. But hey, you know what? Justice was after her, so it must be bad, right? I mean, not really. Like, I get that there's supposed to be this evil government thing in the game, but if you look at it logically, Justice acts like a police in this universe. The girl could have easily just been a runaway or lost, or something with Justice looking for her to bring back to her parents. If that were the case, we literally just no questions asked kidnapped a random girl because Gnome sensed she was anomal. When we get back onto the bus, Sai starts acting weird.
Kids freak me out, Pax. I want to be all cool and casual, but I never know what to say, and I just feel like such a fucking fraud.
Dude, oh my... I just got... Do you guys ever cringe so much that you fucking shiver? I just got that. You wanna... Okay, dude. Like, what does that even mean? I wanna... Kids freak me out, Pax. I want to be all cool and casual, but I never know what to say, and I just feel like a fucking fraud. What?
What the fuck does that even mean? That is just such a weird-ass way to think.
What does that even mean?
Customers only.
We're customers. That gentleman there is filling up an entire bus. And he's also buying snacks.
I mean, if you were a business owner and fucking homeless people were always going into your... Like, this is the thing. They say this shit, these developers say shit, and it's like, think one step, just one step ahead. What happens when a homeless person goes into your bathroom, shits all over the floor, and then leaves without, you know, cleaning it up? Or what happens when a homeless people tries to sleep in there? Then it's your problem. An easy way to not deal with that problem? Have them not go in unless they can pay for some food. Boom. I don't get it, man. Like, unless you have ever had these problems, I don't know. It's just, they assume the best of people when usually that's not the case. Bro, are you serious? We just dropped it again? Give it to Theo, dude. Why are you holding it?
Very sorry, but I believe you still have the key to the restroom.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
You'll want to stay safe out there. Road's getting slippery, and there has been reports of criminal activity in the area. The squad...
Thanks, bro. This guy seems chill. You know, maybe they're not all half bad.
Ziggy, can you open this door from the inside?
Again? What, twice in one day?
Why not? Why do they always bitch about using their powers? Wait, you're asking me to use my power? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Anyways, after no joke, 15 minutes of trying to open this fucking door, we finally do it, and this is what happens.
Sai, can you give this a push?
Oh shit! How the fuck she not die?
How did I get unshot?
I'm a normal and I can heal. We get it. Don't gotta fucking explain it, man.
Before leaving, we have to pick up this guy's correct plant that he likes, but we have to kind of guess which one it is. Honestly, this has no significance to the plot whatsoever. I think the developers forgot about this.
Works. Simple, easy to remember, albeit a little presumptive.
Okay, dude.
know if she's
A she.
There's no way, man. We do know.
I asked you to call me Viola, but there's something about that name that doesn't quite sit right. I'm going back to CT for now.
Haha, cool.
Sorry, I know I said I would skip the campfire sections because they're such a waste of time, but I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse into what you're missing. So here we have another feigned choice. This time, though, it would have actually made a huge difference in the story, depending on the choice we made. We have to choose which detour to make to get around something called the exclusion zone. This was the first part of the game that somewhat interested me, simply due to the unknown aspects of it. Why would we not be able to get through there? What resided within that made it off limits? Regardless, Theo made it clear that there was no way we would be able to get through there alive. So first, I chose the north. Theo said it would be more trouble, so I was down to try and get more fights than one every hour, but that apparently wasn't an option. Why would you make me think there's a choice when there clearly isn't one? So up to this point, Pax has been having these dreams about a specific place. That place just so happens to be right on the other side of the exclusion zone. So, in her infinite wisdom, despite Theo warning us multiple times that the place is a death trap, Pax gets the bright idea of just driving straight through it anyways. For whatever reason, she sees it fit to put everyone in the crew into perilous danger, just so she can pursue something she saw in a dream? Seriously, at this point it just feels like the writers are trying to make Pax as unlikable as possible. We also get an absolute bomb dropped on us from Caretaker.
Your mind, Viola? I wasn't sure if I should bring this up, or when, or where. I know you've been keeping it a secret from everyone. You're with child. I wasn't able to detect this before.
What?
Were reactivated, but now that I have, I'd like to offer any assistance you may need.
Since she was built to take care of humans, she has special sensors that can detect certain states that they're in. With those, she can tell that Pax is pregnant. So this entire time I was getting mad at her for calling us kid, thinking she saw it as like some quirky little quip or something. She was actually talking to her unborn child. I probably should have seen that sooner. Anyways, this pregnancy just reinforces the fact that she is a completely horrible human being. Instead of taking one of the safer routes, she chose to go into a place known for wiping people off the face of the earth, while knowing she's pregnant. So not only does she put the entire crew in danger for her own curiosity, but she would put her own child in that same peril? What the fuck, man? When we ride into the exclusion zone, we're stopped for some reason. During our stop, Girl, which is, yeah, that's what we're calling her now, goes off on her own. Caretaker does what she's programmed to do and runs off to try and find her. Pax and Eli go after the two of them, since we need Caretaker in order to make the trip through the sandstorm safely. In trying to follow Caretaker, Pax finds a rusty staircase that looks like it could give out at any moment.
Can I kill Pax here?
Instead of looking for a safer way down into this ditch, she decides to risk it and make her way down that way.
That's gonna fall.
Unsurprisingly, the thing collapses and Pax falls like 10 feet and has a large metal beam crush her. Miraculously, she escapes this without any injuries and is simply stuck and needs help.
Ah! For the children! Ah. Hey, yo! What the fuck was that? Yeah, I don't think that's fucking human.
Eli helps Pax out of that situation, and then they start sneaking around. When they see a Liberty patrol, they get taken out by some big fuck you gorilla guy.
What?
What? No! Ouch! Ouch! Oh, I just fucking died! No! I'm trying to go deathless, man. Fuck!
Keep asking questions, you know I can't answer.
I can't run fast enough. Oh my, it will never be cool, dude. Oh, I'm dead. Oh.
Eyes on me.
Dude, wait, this is gonna take fucking forever. Huh?
This is one of the first actual boss fights of the game, so I was not really expecting to die, but yeah, I did. I'm not gonna say that they were like Dark Souls boss level of difficulty, but some of them do end up taking me a couple tries. Whether that's due to jankiness or actual difficulty, I'm not really sure. Honestly, the combat is so rigid that I could easily place the blame on that, but for this fight, it was kind of all on me. The dodges just feel kind of weird, as do the blocks. They both lock you into an animation, like you can't block and or move or roll, and continue moving directly afterwards. It just does not feel very fleshed out or smooth at all, so I guess my hope that it was a Borderlands 3 situation is kind of out of the window. Anyways, after beating the shit out of that gorilla thing, we continue our trek through the exclusion zone. Caretaker continues to lead us to this broken down diner with a creepy robot at the front. We find Girl in the diner, sitting with a masked crazy woman who thinks that she is literally in hell. Despite Girl not saying a word the whole time, this woman can somehow hear what she is saying.
Hey, girl.
I told you. You shouldn't be here.
Why shouldn't we be here?
No one should be here. This is the underworld. No point even...
It is revealed that this is O, the girl Eli had been looking for the whole game. You know, the one whose toys were needed out of that facility. So yeah, through sheer luck we were able to find her, and it turns out she is also a normal, but her abilities are kind of weird. She accrues great pain just living, and if she wants, she can release all of the built-up pain onto other people, or at least, I think that's how it works. Anyways, Pax has everyone continue forwards towards the Great Erd Tree, because she wants to figure out what the fuck it is. We get to the facility that seems to house it, but it's being guarded by a bunch of those gorilla things, along with the big boss gorilla. This boss fight really annoyed me. There were a lot of points where it wasn't very clear what I should do, and it led to a few deaths.
You could just not say anything, too. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck?
The big guy jumps to the side of the courtyard and somehow starts raining down fire on us.
What is going on?
I thought I was supposed to just avoid the fire and wait for that phase to end, but it turns out you're supposed to run up to the thing and hit it in order to end the phase yourself. The second phase locks the camera to this one point, and it's really kind of jarring. It made it hard for me to know what the fuck was going on my screen. The fight is really janky and it's just not really fun. Also, now Pax has the ability to fly 20 feet into the air in order to hit the gorilla, I guess.
Also usually messes with the enemy's heads, but I'm not sure that's the case.
Can you shut the fuck up? Alright, we're about to kill this little fucker. Am I invincible right now? Bro, I almost killed it. Fuck.
Making our way towards the tree, there's a giant-ass squid that's trying to kill us. I really don't know what the fuck's going on. Apparently it's like the mother of all the smaller squids we've seen throughout the game, but then all of a sudden it thinks that we're trying to help it, so it stops attacking us. Also, it was somehow controlling the gorillas. I don't know. I don't know what happened in the writing room for this issue, but the amount of exposition dumped directly into my chest is just aggravating, man. Pax goes up to the tree thing, and honestly, I still don't really know what it does. I don't understand why she had to be the one to touch the tree or what it did. Anyways, I'll let you in on some of the shit that was dumped onto me when this happened. Apparently in this story, the proto-language is where anomals draw their power from, except that it doesn't really make any sense at all. They never utter the syllables of the proto-language, so if that's where the power comes from, how the fuck are they using it without actually saying the words? Like in Skyrim, the words are what hold the power, and they usher things into existence like fire, confusion, poison, whatever. Apparently in this game, the words just are in everything. It's stated that the proto-language is what had the universe take form, rather than staying as dust for eternity. The scientist guy, who I'm guessing nutted inside of Pax, tries to say that the proto-language is God. Fuck's sake, man. They just place way too much importance into this shit. Oh, and how is it discovered? By cavemen. Yep. Cavemen drew a bunch of symbols on a wall, then the scientist guy discovered them, and that's how humanity came to know about them. This story makes less and less sense as more stuff is revealed about it. First of all, how the fuck did some cavemen discover this power? How does it even make sense that it formed the universe when it's just a language? Like, scientist guy insists that the proto-language is present within every atom in existence, but what does this even mean? Language is in every molecule in existence? Language is a construct of human biology. Sure, other animals have languages in a sense that they can communicate with each other, but that's the thing. We define a language as a method of communication. So how does it make sense that there is a method of communication within all atoms? They all talk to each other? Seriously, I don't know where they're going with this. I think it speaks to an issue that can be present within writing, which is assigning way too much importance to your fictional creation. In fantasy, magic can be pretty much written off or accepted, at least to me, because it is simply another universe. I can suspend the disbelief that in another universe, there exists this natural power that can do things unbound by conventional physics or other natural laws. In Terraria, it's never really explained what magic is. I just kind of believe it to be an inherent part of its universe and accept it at that. But when you create this discovery in your fiction, I feel like it has to be somewhat believable. In Halo, it's totally within the realm of science fiction that a super advanced civilization created these rings in case of an outbreak from this insanely dangerous parasitic species. In Warframe, I'm easily able to accept that teleportation or super speed or even time travel is a possibility because there's a pre-existing element within the story, the Void, that could explain all these crazy-ass powers. In Dustborn, I'm supposed to believe that cavemen, with the most primitive technology possible in human history, just happened across this discovery and drew it onto walls, and that this discovery, again made by cavemen, is of universal significance and power. I'm supposed to just suspend the disbelief that within every atom in existence there is a language. What does that even mean? Do these atoms just store the language? Fragments of the language? It just seems so damn contrived to just randomly have your story blurred out. Oh, by the way, this thing that went undetected by mankind and its futuristic technologies was somehow discovered by cavemen and is of universal scale and importance. Then if you think about how Anomals came across this power, it makes even less sense. They listened to a broadcast that spewed disinformation, and now they have the ability to harness this insane power? What the fuck are these squids? I could go on and on. I think you get it at this point. The plot just makes no sense, and does not survive 5 seconds of critical thought. At this point of the story, I was really running on fumes. I got to the point where I just didn't want to play it, and it took me months to actually sit down and finish the game due to sickness and just boredom of the utterly stupid story presented to us. I will do my best to only summarize the unimportant plot points from now on and only focus on the important. I could easily pick at this game for hours, but I'm tired of wasting your guys' time and my own. I'm going to try to get through this issue pretty quickly. Not too much happens. Only like 1 or 2 pretty important things happen. But it really does not justify the 2-hour length of this issue. They literally just sit in this house and like bicker, and they play hide and seek. I don't understand the writing of this. Like, it just feels like such a waste of time. Anyways, I'm gonna stop wasting yours. Okay, so O goes Nova and hurts everyone. So we have to go and listen to all of the other people's opinions on whether or not she should stay with the group. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and do everyone a pretty big favor and skip through the almost 20 minutes of listening to everyone's opinions on this one event. Whatever, we end up letting her stay. Next, we play hide and seek. Cool. Then we discover that girl has the ability to bring a ton of echoes together. We utilize this and we collect like 90 echoes, and then we use those to learn a brand new power. While learning it, we start floating in the air like some fucking exorcism shit. This better be one hell of a shout if it's doing all that. We go back to this house that we broke into and we eat dinner. During dinner, we tell the story of the great heist at the beginning of the game. The game has it told through a really boring turn-based combat sequence with a pixelation filter over it. Waste of time in my opinion, but whatever. They should have had an actual combat sequence since we don't really have many of those in the last 16 hours of gameplay. After the story of the heist is told, Sai gets all pissy.
But it makes for great narrative tension.
Dude, I don't give a shit about narrative tension. I care about getting out of this alive.
In case you haven't noticed, we are alive.
But barely. With the number of fuck-ups we've had, someone should have bled out by now.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Fuck you. Fuck your friendship. And fuck your help. Fuck all of you. I'm not doing this anymore. Good luck making it to Nova Scotia.
Finally. See ya. Oh, we should all be dead by now. We could have all easily been killed. No shit. You guys are breaking into a government headquarters and stealing extremely sensitive data. Did you think you were gonna be signing up for a fucking Legoland membership when you accepted the job? When I think of a heist, I think of 2 things. Payday and Grand Theft Auto. Literally, the idea of a heist is to steal shit under a massive threat of retaliation. Sai leaves after her bitch fit. Good. Fuck that whiny sack of shit. Get the fuck out of my life. Sai just lashes out at Pax for not really any reason. And trust me, it's really easy to find a reason to lash out at Pax. Sai just had a 3-sentence crash out and then dipped. Alright, for this issue, the gang walked around the city for a while looking for the bar where we're supposed to meet some random person. And by random person, I mean an agent from Nova Scotia. Walking around, we meet an Anomal and attempt to recruit him, but he doesn't want to come with us. We keep walking and find the bar. Gnome uses her powers to get us in, and then when we enter, it's filled to the brim with Justice soldiers. So we should have left. But then some of the gang starts drinking and it goes downhill from there. The meeting couldn't happen because there were too many Justice warriors there. The gang gets drunk and performs in the Battle of the Bands. Then, of course, one of the Justice soldiers recognizes us and we have to run from them. The guy we just tried to recruit ends up sui bombing. He blows up all the Justice soldiers just so we can get away. That's the end of the issue. There was like a little bit of a subplot where Pax and Gnome talk about their relationship and whatever, but no one cares. Nobody fucking cares. I would go on a rant here about how absolutely stupid it is to get drunk while you're on a mission to carry this multi-million-dollar data across the border, but I think it's pretty obvious at this point. I don't know what the writers were thinking. Why would a group of people who are in such danger just stop at a bar with all of these soldiers that are trying to chase them and take the data from them and drink with whatever. I'm moving on. Alright, in the next issue, we have to meet with the person who didn't make it to the bar. He seems really sketchy. He gives this old paraplegic Anomal lady to take across the border, and then that's it for the most part. She's pretty much a plot MacGuffin for later. Once we leave this meeting, we see that the gang has been taken hostage by Justice. We use the gang's powers to get out of our hostage situation, and we get a pretty decently long fight. Once we win the fight, we try to get away from Justice, but end up getting stabbed. We're stuck on the tracks, and the caretaker comes along to save us, but gets smashed because of it. She really did not have to die. She just kind of stood there after saving Pax and got railed by a train. Since Pax has a stab wound in her stomach, she passes out, and that ends the issue. Alright, fellas, lock in. It's the conclusion. This is the final issue of the game, and unfortunately I have a lot to talk about. Pax wakes up in a Justice hospital, handcuffed to the bed. The merciful soldier guy talks to her about how he only wanted to help her, but Pax offers a rebuttal by bringing up the child research facilities, like the one Eli came out of. The guy denies this since he genuinely didn't know that they existed. Pax manages to convince them she is telling the truth without her powers, and the guy seems remorseful. The partner girl apologizes for stabbing Pax in the stomach while she was pregnant, and it's confirmed that the child is alright. Next, Purity attacks the hospital, and good soldier guy lets Pax go. While escaping in this phantom pain-ass sequence, Sai shows up out of nowhere and carries Pax out. Sai gets Pax into a van with the rest of the gang, including Plot MacGuffin Lady, before leaving the city. Sai has to stop the van to tell us something. Turns out she's been an informant the entire time for Justice. Cool. Eat shit then, I guess. She's been feeding them false information and insists that she has to stay in order to fight Justice. Good. Sai's annoying. Anyways, instead of getting into an action-packed chase or something to escape the city, we use MacGuffin Lady's powers to teleport us away. Something happens when we teleport and we aren't allowed to talk about it for some reason. I kinda wish I knew what happened with how disgusted it had everyone, but I guess the whole not knowing thing is the intrigue of it. We get this last little section before we get to the border where we're just driving and checking out the scenery, and even though we weren't really doing anything, I couldn't complain. The scenery was pretty nice, in my opinion. When we reached the border, it turns out the van driver died or some shit, and we're running on foot towards the border. With both Justice and Purity after us, we really have to hurry the fuck up. In a bog, we get sandwiched by the two, and we have to have this last battle. It's really annoying because the third-person camera clips out of the boundary, so you can't see that boundary, but for whatever reason, the developers thought it was a good idea to make it so that boundary stuns you every time you touch it.
What is that, dude? What the fuck?
Maybe they just had nobody to play test this game. That's what it seems like. Once I figured out what was happening, I beat him pretty easily. Next, good Justice soldier comes by and says, "Fuck it, you guys go ahead and escape." So we try to, but get stopped by Purity main bitch. The game tells us that our choices throughout the game affect all dialogue from this point on. Purity bitch has some of the gang hostage. We try to use our Vox, but what do you know? She has an earpiece in that filters out proto-language or some shit.
Don't move.
Filtering. Oh, makes it a bit difficult to hear what you're saying, but it appears to be working.
So literally, if everyone wore deafening earplugs, they would be unaffected by Vox. She explains that what was on the flash drive was billions of dollars worth of data about the proto-language. Pax has a speech that changes based on everyone's codas, which are affected by how we interact with them throughout the game. Cool. Then, my boy Theo clutches up with an EMP which totally disables all of the purity guards, leaving Boss Bitch alone and vulnerable. Since she's no longer a threat, we kinda just leave her? Sure, whatever. We won, but out of nowhere, Theo starts telling Pax, oh yeah, if anything happens to me, please help my cousin, she's anomal. I'm just sitting there like, why is he telling us this right now? Like, why would he not tell us earlier when we were actually in danger? Why the hell would he be saying something like this after we beat the big boss? There's no way the writers are so bored at this point that they can't even bother to properly set something up to happen to him. Right? Wrong! This random white kid comes out of nowhere and threatens Pax. Because of this, Theo feels like he has to do something. He leaps at White Boy, and then he is just vaporized.
No.
Bro! There's no way.
Paradox.
What the fuck? Then Girl harnesses a bunch of echoes for Pax to use in order to beat White Boy, but it turns out Pax's baby is the one using the echoes? A woman's stomach starts to bulge and a baby gains the ability to hear during the second trimester of pregnancy. Pax's stomach is completely flat, so this baby, who's in the first trimester of pregnancy, with absolutely unequivocally no understanding or even ability to hear any kind of language, is somehow able to harness the power of Vox, which requires you to speak, or at least in Girl's case, understand it? Purity Bitch was unaffected because she had a device that stopped her from hearing the words of the Vox. This means that in order to be affected by Vox, you have to hear the words and also have emotions. But Girl doesn't speak? So how does her Vox work? Maybe she just focuses echoes into a point and uses their power against people with touch. But again, the problem is that Vox is supposed to be based on the proto-language. So if you need a language to use Vox, how can someone who is mute use it? Whatever, I'm just tired of thinking about it. If the writers couldn't think about it this much, then why should I? So Pax's unborn first trimester baby harnesses the echoes and fucking laser beams White Boy, killing him. Kid's getting a head start on KD padding, I guess. So pretty much for no reason, the writers decided to kill off the best, most reasonable character in the game in the last 5 minutes. The scene is pretty much inconsequential. Like, we have no idea what White Boy was, then he just dies a second later. There was no reason this scene had to be in the game. Why not have the baby kill Purity Bitch instead of using fucking Theo's death as a catalyst? Also, how does Pax not die? The baby has no means to control its own powers, so how does it not accidentally laser beam through Pax's stomach to kill her ass? That would have been such a better ending. So yeah, Theo fucking dies. Then, based on your previous dialogue choices, some people choose to stay instead of leaving with you to Nova Scotia. Here, Ziggy is the one who stays. Oh no, I'm so sad. Then there's a comic strip that shows what each character ends up doing with their life, and that's the end of the game. Like, I don't know. I feel like the developers knew that Theo would be the only one we like and would care about, so they just killed him off for no reason, with no setup whatsoever. In conclusion, what is the problem with this game? Is it the gameplay? Is it the story? Or has it simply just been crucified by a certain crowd for some of its most viral moments? Well, in my opinion, it is the former two. The gameplay is abysmal and rarely even rears its head. There were very few fights on the game for how long it is, and the combat was serviceable at best. If you have a somewhat lacking gameplay loop, then your game has to really lean hard onto its story. This works for Telltale games because, for at least what I've seen of them, they told very engaging stories. If your story is not cohesive, has many plot holes, and forces you to take the role of one of the most insufferable characters, and your gameplay is stale, then your game is a failure. This pretty much describes Dustborn. The powers in the universe don't make sense. We're introduced to the weird squid species that is never explained. We're supposed to believe that one of the most important discoveries in human history was made by cavemen. We have to listen to the worst characters bitch and moan about the best, and then we're expected to agree. We have the views of the developers pushed onto us instead of being given an opportunity for true contemplation. A good story doesn't tell you what to think or what its lessons are. Rather, it presents you with interesting dilemmas and thought experiments in order to get you to question what you think. Dustborn does not do that. All it does is lecture you. And you're not going to change anyone's minds by doing that. If you want to make me question my stance on guns, show me the horrors of what they can do to people. If you want me to think about the utter horrors of disinformation, show me how it affects the relationships between those inflicted and those with the truth. If we're supposed to question the place of politics in entertainment, tell a story about it. Instead, we're told guns are bad, disinformation is made into this physical monster, and the game just makes fun of people who don't agree with them on the place of politics and entertainment. When you tell someone something that they are against, you don't gain anything. You have to show reason for your stance, otherwise all you get is ridicule and pushback. If you want to portray a problem as amorphous and intangible as disinformation, the worst thing you can do is dumb it down into this generic darkness. You insult your audience when you take such an interesting problem and basically turn it into a generic evil. Disinformation in Dustborn is treated like any generic evil influence seen in media. If you think of Borderlands 2's Escape from Dragon Keep, that's the kind of generic evil I'm talking about. Because of a sorcerer, the land is plagued by evil. This nebulous evil that isn't really that important to the story. It works for the story there because the entire point of that DLC is that it's a parody host to many common fantasy RPG tropes.
Hang on, just wait up. Wait up, I'm gonna release dragging on in a sec. Just gotta get my camcorder ready. There we go. Gonna put dubstep behind footage of you guys dying and get tons of hits on the Echo Net. It's gonna be awesome. Ah, what a bummer. Alright, get up here and I'll kill you myself. Hey, just let me unlock the door.
It does not work in Dustborn because it takes an issue that has great potential for portrayal in media and turns it into such a boring plot point. Lastly, when this game makes fun of people who want to keep politics out of our entertainment, I think this is a gross misrepresentation of that situation. I personally feel that there is an extreme drought of proper expression in today's world, as well as an innate lack of understanding. When researching for this video, I would look up plot holes to make sure I wasn't missing anything and making myself look like a fuck-ass. To my utter surprise, I saw a great amount of people who actually saw zero problems in this game. People were literally chalking up any and all criticism to, the right's just mad about it because they see it as a woke game. I'm not gonna pretend that people like that don't exist, but I think it's just so intellectually dishonest to dismiss any and all criticism as hate from the anti-SJW right-wing grifters. At the same time, I could see why people think it is a little bit disingenuous to write off an entire game based on a few lines of dialogue. Look, humans are creatures of assumption and usually get put on or off based on first impressions. So when someone sees that one of the protagonist's powers is to cancel, bully, and trigger people, it's understandable for someone to think, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. What I personally think is the main issue regarding the discourse around this game is the lack of the ability to properly express thought. When someone says they don't want politics with their entertainment, I think what they actually are trying to say is that they don't want blatant politics in their entertainment. Nobody really complained about Skyrim being political because it dealt with political topics in a way that suited its setting. It didn't outright say, xenophobia is bad, you are forced to side with the Imperials, or imperialism is bad, side with the Stormcloaks, because the Civil War is a very nuanced situation with a ton of factors. It treats the player with respect by not insulting your intelligence and giving you the decision. If the game just made these statements, it would be much less interesting and thought-provoking. I think this is what people mean when they say they don't want politics in their entertainment. They don't mean that you should sterilize the story and remove any thought-provoking dilemmas. Rather, they want the story to bring those issues forward in a way that is interesting to them, but also meaningful to the story itself. So when I go onto Reddit and see people praise the game and claim that the only reason behind its backlash was for people seeing it as woke, it really seems like some kind of weird deflection to make any critics look like a far-right anti-SJW crusader, like it's fucking 2016 Gamergate all over again. This is just not true at all. I don't hold the opinion that this game is bad because its opinions are not aligned with mine. I can disagree with a decision made by a character without faulting the game for such a thing. Characters are meant to be seen as people living in their own world, meaning they're entitled to opinions that I might not agree with. Do I like Emmerich in The Phantom Pain? No, I think he's a conniving weasel who says whatever he needs to survive. Does that make the game bad? No, not by a long shot. Do I agree with New Vegas's Crimson Caravan in saying that it is necessary to steal from their competition in order to get ahead of them? Well, in this playthrough, no, I do not. So I have the choice to not work for them, or even do worse if I really wanted. Do I think Red Dead Redemption 2's Micah should have ratted on the gang? No, I think he's a manipulative asshole, even though he was helping bring this gang of criminals to justice. He betrayed his friends, but I can see why he did it. I can understand that he was looking for a way out of his situation, and he took it at the cost of his loyalty. It makes you think about what you would do in this situation. What do all of these examples have in common? We are given the opportunity in these games to disagree with a character and their views. We can understand why they do what they do, but in the end, we have our own degrees of agreement with their decisions. The problem with Dustborn is that a lot of the issues presented within it are presented not by characters with interesting and nuanced opinions as a result of their own experiences, but by the game itself. Everyone, except for the bad guys, agrees with the fact that guns are bad. Bully Girl from Liberty thinks the guns are bad, but thinks that they still need them because they're running a drug operation. Everyone we meet along the road agrees with the main characters about all of their issues. We never meet someone who thinks justice or purity or any government is good. We never meet with someone to challenge our views on who really is the good guy in the story. Nova Scotia's intentions are never once questioned. Nobody speaks out about how Theo is treated in the beginning. Everyone pretty much just agrees on everything with very slight variations. Does that sound interesting to you? There's no problem with having a good guy and a bad guy in a story, but when you're creating a decision-focused game, you don't think maybe it would have added a little depth to your story to flesh these things out a little more? How is it that we pick up all these anomals and none of them have different opinions on Nova Scotia? What if when we picked up Eli, he was super against Nova Scotia because it turns out they were involved in the data collection that was going on in those justice facilities? Nope. Nova Scotia, good guys. Justice and purity, bad guys. I mean, for fuck's sake, why do you think people enjoy Fallout New Vegas so much? When I started playing it, I honestly wasn't really seeing all the hype. I saw that there was a lot of openness in encounter design and many different angles you could take in combat, but other than that, I was kind of just bored by the story. I was like, okay, we're gonna follow Mr. House's decisions and just end up killing Benny, and that's gonna be the end of the game. But no, that's not at all how it is. And as the story opened up, I started to understand why the game is so critically acclaimed. As the game went out, and I was like, man, Mr. House is a really annoying prick. Do I really have to follow him? And then I just started to discover ways that you could go around this, or even just straight up go against him. In this game, I honestly didn't know if the Brotherhood of Steel was in it until he told me, yeah, you gotta go kill him. And I was like, what? No, I'm not killing those guys. I want that fucking power armor. Why would I kill him? At that point, I was like, wait, is there actually a way I can kill this guy? And it's just, there's so many different ways you could play that game. And if you're making a decision-based game like Dustborn, why would you not take a page from their book and add more decisions to be made? The only thing affected by your decisions in this game is your relationship with some of the other characters. It doesn't seem like it has any effect on the story whatsoever, or how it plays out. It kind of seems like an afterthought, like, it's like the developers forgot that this was a choice-based game until the very end, and they're like, oh, let's just add a speech that changes based on their decisions, and let's make it so some of the characters stay based on your decisions throughout the game. It's like, it really doesn't have that much of a bearing on the outcomes. I could go on about this topic, but I don't want to belabor the point too much. What I'm trying to say is that if you have an opinion as a developer and you want to incorporate that into your game, you have to show your audience why. Why are these characters anti-government? Why are these characters anti-gun? I can get why Pax is anti-government because she's been on the run since she was a little kid. I can honestly understand why this group is anti-government because being a normal is seen as an issue to the countries that they resided in. Did the writers show me this in an interesting way? No, not really, but I can totally understand these views in the presence of the story. The reason I'm harping on this anti-gun thing so much isn't because I'm some gun-obsessed person. No. If you're against guns, I can understand. But it would help me to understand if you told me why. This game could have easily given us a backstory as to why everyone in this fucking game hates guns. It does not make any sense in the context of the story, though. The original trio is a group of scam artists who are on the run from the cops who work for a fascist regime. Why is it such an insane idea for them to accept the presence of a gun? Hell, if I was in this situation, I'd at least have a 9 on me, and that's without taking into consideration all the future tech they have. This is what people are talking about when they say they don't want politics in their games. It does not make sense in the world of the story you are telling, so why incorporate this opinion into the game at all? I think the biggest sin committed by this game is not being woke. I don't even know if you could call it progressive, considering it promotes the bullying and psychological dismay of people who don't hold the same opinion as you. I mean, the cancel power literally says in its description that it forces self-harm onto people afflicted by it. No. The biggest sin committed by this game is its bland, uninteresting story that attempts to demonstrate the beliefs of the writers without backing it up with any kind of engaging narrative. It's being called woke because it engages in the same kind of rhetoric that you might find in Batwoman.
I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
It spews its own opinions, and instead of showing you the merits of those opinions, they just call you a piece of shit if you don't believe in them.
Yo, come on. Nobody does this.
So, if you hear anyone talking about how this game isn't that bad, and that the only reason people dislike it is because it's part of the woke mind virus or something, they are wrong. The game is bad, and I don't think I should have to say this, but please, do not purchase this piece of shit. What I've learned from my experience reviewing this game is that everything in the world is nuanced. When I say something, that doesn't necessarily mean it is the end-all be-all and always true. When someone says all AAA games are mindless slop, you should not believe them because categorical statements like that are often untrue. If you ever hear someone say indie games are the future of gaming and that they will take over the entire industry, that's true to some degree, but if there is anything to be taken away from this experience, it's the fact that Deathborn alone acts as a reminder of nuance. It's here to yell at us, hey, there's a ton of very talented independent developers. We are not one of them, so be careful when you spend your money on independently developed games. The entire game I just hoped for some kind of relief from the insistence upon black and white truths by the entire cast, and I just never got that. For PAX, it was either her way or your stupid piece of shit, and that is really not the way you should be getting your ideas across. So please, if you get anything out of this video, don't be like PAX. The only way to change someone's mind is by making your own mind a little vulnerable as well. If you're willing to hear someone out, maybe they will do the same thing for you. You'll never get anywhere by villainizing people who do not share your opinions like this game does. Thank you again for anyone who made it this far in the video. I've really learned a lot from making it. I've never taken an entire game like this and reviewed it fully. Payday 3, I kind of did that, but I don't know, it was so unfinished I didn't even have that much to go through. Like, I finished all the heists within a few hours, so there was that. But I've never had this much footage to sift through for a single video, so bear with me if it was a little bit rough. I'm recording this before I completely finish and refine all the videos, so I'm gonna try to kind of sand it down, make it a little, make it shorter so that it's more consumable, and I hope it works out.